All right, guys. Good day. My name is Lat Academy, like before. As you all know, today is Sunday, so it's time for weekly chart analysis. And this is going today is the 21st of June, right? Okay. So the market is going to be opened by maybe a few hours from now. So what does the market ask for us? Let's go into business. All right, as usual. So this week, these are the pairs I'm going to be looking at. Actually, if you remember, last analysis on last week analysis actually played out the way we analyze. So this week we're still going to follow same approach we used last time. So let's see what the market is going to give us this week. And before I proceed, don't forget to subscribe to my um, YouTube channel, and also hit me up on Twitter, X. Okay, so we're going to be starting our analysis on pounds CHF for today. And don't forget, we always, you know how we do it now. Top down analysis starting from excuse me, let me get my drawing tools. I think I forget to bring it up. All right. um, I forgot to bring it up. Yeah. Okay, we have it here. All right, so let's get into business. We're going to be starting from pounds CHF on the weekly time frame. Actually, last week, the initial plan was we waiting for the market to pull down to this daily zone here, daily support. Then we look for entry to the upside. But I think the buy pressure was actually much, so the price actually reached maybe just few pips from our POI and zoom to the upside. So this week what I will going to be looking at on the pounds CHF. Now pounds CHF on a weekly time frame. Now just same approach. What can we see here? We see that the market has been making series of what lower low and lower high, lower low, and getting to this point, we see we see was change of structure, right? We are seeing the market trying to change structure, that's change of trend, changing from what a changing from a bearish trend to what to a bullish trend. Now what do we have here? We have an reverse end and shoulder pattern forming here, right? So what do we expect here? We expect the market to break above this neckline, break above, and start pulling to the upside, right? So actually, we were looking to take a trade around there last week, but we couldn't get that because the bullish pressure was the buying pressure was high. So this week we wait on our ends. We wait for either if we can have a retracement back to the POI, we still take the buy, or we wait for the market to break above and we continue buying pounds CHF. All right. So pound CHF on daily time frame. What do we have here? Okay, I think my network is a little bit lagging this afternoon. So on daily time frame, just as we analyzed the previous time, the price was around there. Then we were waiting for the price to get down to this point. Then we look for a buy to the upside, right? So since we couldn't get that, we still have same bias. We wait if we could get if we can get a drop to this point, fine. And if we don't, then wait for the market to pull above, retrace, we look for buy and to the upside. Now looking for buy to the upside. Now if you notice, if we are breaking above this blue zone, that means we are actually breaking a weekly resistance. So once we break above, then our overall target will be what the next weekly resistance. Okay, So on a 4 hour time frame, nothing much here. We wait. If we have a pullback to this point, we buy. And if we don't, we wait for the market to do its thing, either break above, retest, and we take our position. Either way, we are active. All right, let's go to the next pair, which is pounds USD, the British pounds against US dollar. All right, so actually British pounds on the weekly time frame, I will actually be looking for, we have two buyers on this pair for the week. All right, now the first bias is going to be, is either okay, if we go further, I will explain it on daily time frame. Now we've been ranging in between weekly support and weekly what, resistance. Now what do we see here? The price is actually on weekly support right now, so we expect the market to do what, to give us a buying pressure from here back to the what, weekly resistance. Reason being that we are actually in a bullish trend. Forget about the range. Yeah, we are ranging, but we are actually in a bullish trend. We only say we are on we are now on the market is changing to a bearish trend only when we break below this weekly support, and then we start looking for sell to the downside, right? So but for now, as long as we are ranging, we are trading above this weekly support, we are still what, bullish. Now we are bullish doesn't mean you should start buying. Okay, that's why we have the top analysis in place. So the top analysis in place. So now let's scroll down to daily time frame for more explanation. So having this right now, I have two bias here. Now the first bias is we have a break retest and came back to what, support, right? Now it's either we have a retracement back to this point, then we look for sell from here back to here before we start looking for buy to the overall weekly resistance, or we have something like this. The market can give us a little pullback to this point because of this structure here. Can have a little pullback, then retest back to here. Then from here, we start looking for buys to the upside. So that's our actually to the double bias we have. Is either we have pullback to this point, then we start looking for set to this point before we look for the overall buy to the weekly resistance, or we have a pullback, a bit pullback to this point, retest, then we buy to the upside. Now all this will take place only, all this thing we these two buyers now will only take place if we continue trading above these weekly support. Anything that make the price to break below, then the buyers become invalidated. We start looking for what, sell to the next weekly support. All right, so on a daily time frame, what we'll be looking for is we start looking for what, a sell from here, a minor sell from here to this point, and we might not get this sell confirmation, we might not get this setup, so we might still have maybe a pullback to this point, then coming back here, then we will, the sell bias will be what, invalidated. So what we'll start looking for is buy to the what, overall um target, which is the weekly what, resistance. Okay, so we will only take those two trades. Now what we'll be looking for is, we are still what, bearish, that's daily bearish. So we need the market to pull back to this yellow zone here, this yellow zone, then we look for set to the downside if given the opportunity. But if we are not given the opportunity, that we have something like this, then we'll start looking for buy to the upside. So either way, as long as we are still trading above here, we start looking for what, buy. All right, that's all for pounds USD. So let's proceed to pounds card. Now pounds card, just as we analyzed last time, pounds card on the weekly time frame, we see we just broke above a major what, resistance, right? So we expect the market to pull back and then start trading to the upside. Now with this pin, with this candle close last week, is actually playing in our favor for now. So now the market might open. We might have a new candle open here, then decide to close below. Now, if something like that happen, that means we are forming an evening star on a weekly time frame, and forming that kind of formation, which means the market is no more buying and we are about to what set to the downside. But each ever way the market um give us signal, we react to whatever the market is telling us. Okay, actually I have a buy trade open on this pair right now. So once the market's open, we start looking for what more buys if given the opportunity. So euro pounds card on weekly time frame, we just broke above what a key level, a resistance, weekly resistance. So we expect from this point to this point. All right. So going down to daily time frame, what do we do? We already have a break above a retest. So we expect the market to continue giving us what series of higher high and higher low. All right. So on this retest here, I actually took a trade. So when the market open, we allow the market to do its thing. Now the next place I will be looking for buy is if we break, if the market price move above and break here, then I'll start looking for another entry here and that entry here, following the what trend. Okay, so on a 4 hour time frame, we have a trade open already. So where I'll be looking for to take another trade will be from here, right? From this point, that's where we'll start looking for more buys once we break above and start moving to the upside. But for now, once the market open, we'll start watching now for what for the candles printing. So if we have a break above this 4 hours resistance, then once we have a break above it, we move our SL to what entry, okay, to break even on the trade and allow the market to do its thing. All right. So that's all for Pascal. On Pascal, no trade for now. We just wait on our position. Now pounds AUD on a weekly time frame. Now pounds AUD on a weekly time frame, we have the market also forming. We have a double bottom formed here. One, two. So we expect the market to move to this point, probably break above to complete the chart pattern formation. All right. Now, where are we heading to? We are heading to the upside, right? Around 1.94000. Okay. So what should we be looking for? We need to be looking for what buys. And if you check the last previous candle, we have engulfer, we have this, and last candle, I think that's a retraced candle, right? So scaling down to daily time frame. Now on a daily time frame, actually the first trade we took on this pair, the trade hit SL. So I presume I'll say I entered too early. All right. So um now we have the last candle that closed there. We have this. So once the market open, we start watching out. Now what I'll be expecting is a pull above, retest, and a buy. All right. Now on a 4 hour time frame, what do we see? This is actually the first trade I took, which hit SL. So I'll be waiting for the market to come up to this point, retraced, and we start buying. All right, I'll take a re-entry definitely once I see the confirmation. All right, so um that's all for pounds AUD. Okay, so let's go to pounds SND. That's a great British pounds against one New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar. All right. Pounds SND on a weekly time frame, just as we have here. We have a range in between a weekly support and resistance. And the last three weekly candle the formation, we have what a bullish engulfing candle, and we have this should I call it inside bar? this two candle formation. Now with this candle, what I expect is, I expect after this candle formation, I expect a boom to the upside. So on a weekly time frame, pound SND, we are bullish. Back to daily time frame. Now on a daily time frame, I've been waiting for these pair since in fact last week when we made our analysis, I was expecting the market to pull back to this point, then before we look for buy here to this point, so that we can have what we call what an inverse end and shoulder pattern formation. All right, but throughout last week the market was just doing its thing. We couldn't have a pullback to this point because the buying pressure was high. So the market refused to pull back to the daily zone for our entry. So still on that same bias, we still wait for the market to what pull back to this point before we talk of buying. So pounds SND, no no setup for now, except we have a pull up, like we break above this daily zone, retest, but I can't be buying from this point to this point because that's just roughly that's not a lot of pips. That should be like less than 100 pips or something like that. So euro SND and pound SND, unless we have a pullback to this point, we buy to the upside or we break to this point till then. So right now we still have same bias as last week. Market pull down to this point and we buy. All right. So pounds JPY has been doing his own thing also. So waiting for a sell setup. We have a sell setup on pounds JPY. Now, how do we come about this? Now, pounds JPY on the weekly time frame, we have a break above, touching the resistance zone, come back to the support. We have another touch, try to break above, it pull down back, then we have a touch here. So what we expect now is what? A drop to the downside to give us what? A confirmed head and shoulder formation pattern. So pounds JPY, we are bearish. All right, I've been waiting for this setup since like going to 2 weeks now, honestly. After we have these two candle here, like last two candles here, last three candles here, we have these two. So this pin bar and the bullish candle that actually closed, I was expecting that candle to as a retrace candle, but last week it was just doing its own thing. So on a daily time frame, what do we have? Let's break it down. Now on a daily time frame, as you can see, now my expectation is I'm expecting the market to pull back to our weekly what resistance, then we look for what a sell setup from there down to this point. All right, we might also look for more sells when we break above here and below here and start selling. Okay, so on a 4 hour time frame, what do? We wait. All right, we wait. Now make sure you join my Telegram channel for updates, because that's where I always post my entry and all those things. All right, so we wait for what the market to pull back to this point, then we what sell to the downside. Let's take a quick look on gold. What should I be expecting? Actually, I have a trade which I mix. I wasn't active, so the market came back to my POI and gave confirmation and left me behind, so I didn't take it. Now gold on a weekly time frame, we have the weekly support that just turned resistance, right? And we have another support here which has not been mitigated. So now what do we expect? We have a broke below this weekly resistance, weekly support, let me put it that way. Weekly support that has just turned what resistance. All right, we have a break below the weekly zone. Then what do we expect? We expect the market to drop from here to this point before retracing back to this point, then more drop or probably drop below, right? So now what are we looking on? What are we seeing on daily on gold? We are seeing what a sell bias, right? So we're going to be looking for sell. Now on a daily time frame, what do we have? we have uh on a daily time frame, we have a break retest. So I expect more sell to this point on gold, but at this point I actually missed this trade. Honestly, I missed the trade last week. So on a 4 hour time frame, then I was waiting for the market. Immediately I see the market break this bearish engulfing candle. Immediately I saw that candle, I was waiting for the market to pull above, to pull back and drop. So I was not active when this candle formation formed. I was not available, so I missed the trade. So regardless, I expect gold to still what, drop to this point before we start looking for buy to the upside. That's my analysis on gold. So BTC, what do we have on BTC? BTC. All right, BTC, we have what? BTC has been giving us series of lower high, lower low on a weekly time frame, right? We have a drop, a lower high. We expect what? A new lower low, right? So we are in the verge of forming a new lower low, right? So and where we are targeting we are targeting $52,000 per coin. All right. So my bias on BTC is that I'm expecting BTC to drop from its current price to $52,000 per what, per coin before we start looking for buys. Then we sell if the market permits. All right. So BTC on a weekly time frame, we dropping down to this point to form what, the new lower low that we expecting. All right. So on a daily time frame, what do we have here? We have BTC touching the daily support. Then we have a retrace. Now we expect what, a new lower low on a daily time frame, right? Then we retraced back to what, $52,000 per coin. Okay, so BTC on a daily time frame, we expect more drop to this point, perhaps. All right. So on a 4 hour time frame, this is also a missed trade for me, actually. So once the market open, I'm not chasing any trade. All right. So a missed trade is a missed trade. Once the market open, actually I missed this trade from this point. So once the market opens, we expect maybe a little bit retrace and drop. So we'll only be interested in BTC only if we have a drop below this daily zone. I'll start looking for a sell to the downside. All right. So what do? We wait. All right. So I think that's all for now. So the only trade I have active right now is a pounds card, which is this, which I expect the market. Actually, last week was I don't know if I should say brutal or sweet, because I hit both SL and TP together. Pounds odd SL, which we'll be looking for another entry to the upside. All right, another entry to the upside. Then pounds USD, that was sweet one, sweet and clean. Actually, the first trade, which was this drop, I came back to hit our break even. So I caught a re-entry here. Well, that's a sweet one. All right. So that's all for now. Now, before I call it a day, don't forget what I said from the beginning. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and also follow me on X. All right. Let's buy. All right. Have a profitable day. Have a profitable week ahead. I still remain the same. DFX. Don't play.